Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Hi, welcome to another episode of News from the World of MBA. Most of today's headlines come from the IIMs, the biggest headline being, of course, that IIM Ahmedabad has released their selection criteria. We'll also be talking about how COVID is actually going to impact placements at the IIMs. And at the end of this episode, there's some good news with regard to recruitment during this terrible pandemic. Let's dive in. IIM Ahmedabad has released the latest selection criteria for admission to the MBA batch of 2023. Compared to the last year, there have been no changes in the selection criteria. So let's take a look at the major points. IIM Ahmedabad will give 65% weight to CAT 2020 scores and 35% weight to a candidate's profile in calculating the composite score to shortlist candidates for the academic writing test and personal interview round, also called the AWTPI round. Like last year, IIM Ahmedabad will give no points for work experience to those with less than 12 months of work experience and full marks to those with equal to or more than 36 months or 3 years of work experience. For everyone in between, IIM A will calculate marks for work experience with a particular formula. Candidates whose average of 10th and 12th marks do not meet the minimum cutoff set by IIM Ahmedabad will not be considered for the AWTPI round. And finally, one of the last major points and highlight from the IIM Ahmedabad selection criteria is that the minimum CAT 2020 overall percentile cutoff has been set at the 80th percentile for the general category, while the sectional cutoffs have been set at the 70th percentile for the general category. For more information, you must check out the official IIM A selection criteria on InsideIIM.com, and you can find the link in the description. The coronavirus has already disrupted the admissions process and classes at the IIMs and other top business schools in India and, of course, across the world. Now, it's also impacting placements. The Economic Times has reported recently that the summer placements process at institutes like IIM Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Lucknow, Kozhikode, Indore, and MDI Gurgaon will be pushed back by an average of 4 weeks. That's about a month. So why has this happened? Apart from the academic year starting late due to the pandemic, the delay in the placement process will happen because these schools are also hoping that the situation, including the hiring sentiment amongst recruiters, will improve by the time they start the actual placements process. I'll give you more updates around this as we head closer to the placement season at India's top business schools. It has been reported that the percentage of women at IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore's incoming batch of 2022 will have lesser women compared to the previous year. This trend is in fact opposite to what we've seen at other IIMs like IIM Calcutta, Lucknow and Kozhikode, and of course the newer IIMs like IIM Rohtak. The percentage of women at IIM Ahmedabad's MBA batch of 2022 has dropped from just under 24% to now just under 22%. The drop has been bigger at IIM Bangalore, where the percentage of women has gone from 37% to now just about 30%. So what's the reason? Well, IIM Bangalore has just 2% weight for gender diversity in its 2019 selection criteria. We'll know more when they release the latest selection criteria for 2020. While IIM Ahmedabad has no weight for gender diversity whatsoever, not in 2019 and not in 2020 either. The chairperson of admissions at IIM Bangalore has said that the institute has not made any changes to the selection process for women in the past 3 years and has said that women will have to fight for their place at IIM Bangalore alongside men. IIM A's director has also said that the goal of the institute is to not give extra credits or specify a quota for gender in its admission policy. In previous episodes, we've spoken a lot about how the IIMs have been forced to shift their MBA programs online temporarily due to the pandemic. But what we haven't talked about is how similar these trends are, of course, in Europe and the United States, where even top B schools who were thinking of introducing a hybrid system of classes, which is partially in person and partially online, are now being forced to go completely online. According to the Wall Street Journal, two of the world's top-ranked business schools, Wharton at UPenn and McDonough at Georgetown, have been forced to shelve their plans of a hybrid MBA and will now be conducting classes entirely virtually, at least temporarily. Similar news has also come from Berkeley's prestigious Haas School of Business as well. However, some institutes like the Harvard Business School will in fact have a blended approach to conducting classes for the MBA batch, and some classes will in fact have in-person elements. By their own admission, the admissions authorities of top B schools feel that there is a significant difference in an in-person and an online MBA. Students, of course, feel this too, which is why NYU Stern's MBA students are protesting a fee hike by the business school and are in fact asking for a 5 to 10% discount. We've covered this in the previous episode, so be sure to check that out as well. I'd love for our episode today to end on a good note. Every week for the past 14 plus weeks has been filled with news of layoffs and pay cuts. But today I have some good news. Hiring in the IT sector is expected to pick up in the October to December quarter, which is, by the way, a seasonally weak quarter for IT companies. Hiring is expected to pick up because a lot of projects have gotten deferred to the latter part of the year, and companies expect the pandemic to taper off after peaking in the month of August. There's also a lack of visas and tough immigration policies when it comes to working in the US, so more people will be hired in India's IT sector. The good news is that despite the headcount at many of the biggest IT companies in India declining, the IT sector does continue to contribute to overall recruitment activities in India. As per a report by Naukri, the demand for IT professionals grew by 21% in the month of June in 2020. Another piece of good news I'd like to add is that Uber, after laying off many employees and cancelling job offers at all top B schools in India, is now hiring again, though mostly for tech and product management roles. Before I leave, I want to ask you, how has this pandemic affected you as a working professional? Do you see things picking up in the job market anytime soon? What are your biggest concerns and worries about the impact of COVID on your career? Please do let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you very soon with more news from the world of MBA and business.
Hi guys, Inside IIM has come up with an exciting new one-on-one mentorship product where you get to interact with superstar managers from different businesses, different functions. You can ask them everything around your career, your education, your future success. If you are interested, the link is in the description below. Thanks.